Well, about 2 weeks into the coronavirus lockdown, I was being a good girl and staying home like I was supposed to, so I had a lot of time on my hands, and I thought it would be a good time to do a studio makeover. Well, actually, that cabinet on the left decided it would be a good time for me to do a studio makeover because for some reason it started leaning and leaning, and it got to the point where even the doors wouldn't stay on, so I had to deal with it. And I figured since I had to pull all of that other stuff out of the way to get to that cabinet, now would be a good time to do a studio makeover. So that's what I did. In this video, I'll take you through the steps I did for the studio makeover. I won't show you a step-by-step of me doing everything because the room got so crowded there was no room for me to set my tripod up without fear of knocking the camera over. But I will show you my daily progress, and in a second video, I will show you the final results. So here we are at day 1, and I've already started taking things apart. I've moved that file cabinet that was to the left of those cabinets, taken the books off the crates, and started moving things out of my way so I can get this offending cabinet that's leaning and falling apart out. So as the day progressed, I continued to just pull everything out, take my homeless hope panel off the wall, and get that entire area clear for me to pull this cabinet out. Well, I now have that cabinet out of the way, and what the problem was, instead of using the brads that came with the cabinet, I used staples to attach the back. Well, the staples weren't strong enough to hold into the material, and the back popped off, and the cabinet had no structural support and just started leaning and coming apart. I guess eventually it would have, I don't know what it would have done. I had other stuff right next to it, so it was still standing, but who knows. Well, it was challenging, but my husband and I got the back of the cabinet back on. It took two of us, and it took a lot of pushing and pulling to get it back into square, and him holding it until I could nail the cabinet back on using the brads that I should have used the first time. So lesson learned, use what they send you and don't try to improvise. Well, that's all I was able to accomplish on day 1 because I had to quit and go inside and do my drawing classwork assignment. On day 2, what I wanted to accomplish was to take these 2 cabinets, which were on the opposite side of the room, and these were the first 2 cabinets I purchased. I wanted to move them to the side where the leading cabinet was and have all 4 cabinets on the same side of the room. I've already started taking what was on top of the cabinets. Now I need to move this other cabinet which holds threads. I need to get that down, take everything out of these cabinets, and slide them over to the other side of the room. So that's my goal for day 2, so let me get started. Well, by the end of day 2, I had managed to get all the cabinets on one side of the room. These are the 2 far cabinets, and I have that little small cabinet in the middle, and these are the 2 cabinets on the left side. I also placed a little short file cabinet to the left of all the cabinets. Well, my time is up for today. I need to get back to my drawing assignment, so I'll be back tomorrow. Well, as you can see at the start of day 3, I have a lot more done than I did at the end of day 2. That's because I snuck back in here after dinner and I worked for a couple extra hours. I have 2 assignments due in my drawing class this week, so I know that I won't have as much time to work. So I wanted to get as much of this stuff put away in the cabinets as possible because it was really kind of driving me crazy at this point. So I came back in after dinner, got almost everything put away in the cabinets. They may get shifted around, things may get shifted around a bit, but at least it's off the table. It's kind of where it's going to go, and I'm happy with that. So I will continue on and keep getting things done. So I only had a couple hours to work for day 3, maybe even less than that because I had to get back to drawing. But at the end of my time, I did manage to get the table mostly cleared off, although I know it's not going to stay that way. So this is what it looks like at the end of day 3. I've got a lot of more things put away. The books I got off the table. They're stacked in a corner for now, and I'll come back and work some more on day 4. So I've mentioned several times my drawing class, and I thought I'd go ahead and pop in my latest piece here to show you what I've been working on and a reason why I haven't been able to spend as much time out here on this studio makeover as I'd like. This is the last drawing that I turned in for a grade, and it's a plaster figure, and I decided to do it on toned paper and graphite. I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. We'll see what the professor says about it. So today I want to tackle this side of the room. This is the side where I moved those two cabinets from and moved them to the other side of the room. This shelf with the bookcase on it, that was that horizontal cabinet that was on top that held threads. And right now it's just temporarily holding the books so I have some place to put them, but I won't be keeping that the same. I do plan on still using this as a thread cabinet, but I will be using it vertical instead of horizontal, and I will be adding shelves to it to hold my general purpose and my serger threads. I plan on putting it in this corner underneath that gray box, which is the circuit breaker box. I want to stand it up vertically underneath there, and as I said, put some shelves in it to hold my threads. And I think what I'll be able to do is to use the doors that were on it and cut those down and use them for shelves. I really do like the idea of reusing things without having to go out and buy something new, especially right now when we're supposed to be staying home. These cabinets here are some embroidery thread cabinets that I purchased a long time ago, probably about 5 or 6 years ago, from a store that sells used store fixtures, and they will go underneath my quilting machine here. And on the opposite side, right where these are right now, I will place another cabinet to hold my larger spools of machine embroidery quilting threads. So I've managed to get the threads underneath the quilting machine. This is the side where I stand to quilt. And on the other side, I have several little small dressers, which will probably get replaced with something larger. And where the original small embroidery thread cabinets, I've moved this larger cabinet, and I've taken and placed another shelf unit on the wall above that, which I have that shelf unit secured to the ceiling rafters because that's a concrete block wall behind it, and I really didn't want to go through the trouble of trying to drill a hole into the cabinet, line it up, and drill a hole into the wall and get it secured. So they're secured to the ceiling rafters with 3-inch screws, and unless we have an earthquake here in Florida, it should stay put. Well, here we are at day 5, and I did manage to get my thread cabinet completed. It was just about 6 inches too tall to fit under the circuit breaker box. My husband had to cut it down and redo it, but now I have my basic sewing threads in here, and now next I need to get my serger threads in. And as you can see, the table is full of books again because I do need to find a new home for the books. So I'm on the lookout for something for the books to go into, but hopefully I should find that really soon. I do have a few things I need to do, but things are kind of at a standstill right now, so I'll come back when I get more work done. So it's been about a week now, maybe a little longer, but in the meantime I did find a cabinet for my books. I found this on Facebook Marketplace at an antique store. She met me there, had her sons loaded up, and we were able to do it all with social distancing, and I'm really happy with this. The next area I need to deal with is this corner, my gallery corner, but that may be a couple of weeks in the making because the flannel that I need is on back order, and I need to order another sheet of the Homosote, and they also don't have that in stock. So eventually, once I receive everything, I'll get around to this corner. Well, I think I'm going to end this video here. I'm still waiting for some of the Homosote, the other sheet of Homosote to come in. The flannel did come in, so I was able to take and do the wall on the right. I moved both the Homosote panels down to the corner, and I put the flannel on. Another thing I managed to do was take this little table in the corner and paint the top of it. I originally was going to do that all white, but I decided black would look better. When I get the Homosote in, I will do another video showing you the total makeover. I think you will love it. I'll see you then. If you would like to see a video of what the studio looked like before this makeover, check out the link that's popping up above on the top right hand side of your screen. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the tear down and put back together of my studio. If you did, give the video a thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed, do that because you don't want to miss the reveal of the finished studio. Thanks again for coming by. I hope to see you back here again soon. But until then, have a beautiful day.